Good morning, Hustle Nation. Today's show, we're talking about Black Business Matters. I have the founder of StL Black Biz going to sit with me today and talk about all things Black-owned business, what we can do to support them, what they can do to earn more of our support, and how we can take better care and management of this 1.8, 1.92 trillion. It changes all the time. However much collective buying or spending power we have, how do we better aggregate that so that we can build our communities? That's what we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. So do me a favor, smash that share button if you have not already, and go ahead and comment in the chat the name of your business and or your brand, and we're going to go ahead and get this party started. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities, and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally, or I've learned from, or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network, and when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from myperfectmoneyplan.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have a plan for your money, I can promise you this, everybody else does. So go to myperfectmoneyplan.com and I'll teach you how to get your taxes down, how to get your debts down, how to get your credit score up, and how to get your investments up, and how to build multi-generational wealth. And it's not me doing it. It's a team of licensed and certified professionals that's going to help you get your finances to the next level. That's myperfectmoneyplan.com. Today, we got a wonderful show lined up for you today. I'm sitting with a very, very special guest, somebody that I know well, and I've come to respect what she's doing in the community and for our folks. But before I bring her on, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the question of the day. You guys know if you answer the question of the day, then you can enter to win a free vacation. All you got to do is put QOTD and give your answer. My question for you today, since we're talking all things Black Business Matters, how far have you gone to support a Black business? Or how far have you gone out of your way to support a Black-owned business? And I'm going to give you my thoughts towards the end of the show. Just remember to put QOTD and then give me your answer. A couple announcements for today. I've got some great opportunities for single mothers. We've been doing our First Ladies of Finance all week this week and sharing with you how the women in our organization are just flat out crushing it when it comes to their finances. And if you are a single mom and you want to learn how to transform your finances and get a complete financial makeover, then I want you to comment single mom, because I got a special blessing for my single moms out there. You guys know I got a soft spot in my heart for single moms. Also, I got to give a huge shout out to the OT show. They're having me on today at noon. I will post that link in the comments so you guys can come rock with your boy, if you will, and check me out. So I'm excited about that. And then if you have gifts, talents, special abilities that you want to turn into a digital product, I want to help you with that, man. I'm having a digital product boot camp next Tuesday, and all you got to do is comment boot camp, and I'm going to send you that link so that you can get registered for that. I'm going to show you how to take your knowledge and turn it into a digital product, like an ebook, a course, a webinar, a workshop. Some of you guys have already written books and you want to take them to the next level. Some of you guys have not yet written your book, and I want to show you how you can get that thing done in 3 days or less. Yeah, it don't take long to write a book, ladies and gentlemen, when you have the right tools and technology at your fingertips. So all you got to do is comment bootcamp, and I'm going to share that with you as well. So now, without further ado, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for me to bring on my special guest for today. She is the founder of the StLBlackBiz.com website, which is a Black-owned business directory designed to connect the Black business owner with the Black consumers here in the St. Louis metro area, so that we can do a better job of aggregating all of the wealth that passes through our hand. Somebody has to put a stop gate on that thing and say, hey, it's not going to pass through, it's going to pass to, and it's going to stay right here in our community. So let me move my branding so I can bring up my very, very special guest and friend of the show, Miss Eleanie Campbell. Good morning, sis. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing extremely well. Glad to have you on the program this morning. And we're going to talk all about what you have going on over there with the StL Black Biz. But more importantly, where did that labor of love come from and all of that stuff? But before we get into any of that, I got to encourage my listeners to comment the name of their business and or your brand for a free business shout out. And I got to get my quote of the day ready. So you know that we start the show with a quote of the day every day. And today's quote is by the great legendary Jim Rohn. He said, success is something you attract, not something that you pursue. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. I think so many of us are chasing success instead of becoming where success lives. And I think that is so, so critical. You have to become before you can do, and you have to do before you can have. So if you become more, you can do more, and ultimately you will be able to have more. So Eleanie, as our special guest, do you have a quote that you like to say or live by, or do you want to chime in on that quote this morning?
I want to paraphrase my quote. I've heard many say, do it in fear, do it scared.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you just got to get out there. And this is for me because I have a tendency to like tiptoe a little bit. And it's like, I've been working. I'm not a perfectionist, but I want it to look just right. And I need to I'm going to say my friend Tracy Berry McGee. I love her. She just dives in. She like, I'm just going to do it. And she's kind of one of the people, and I'll talk about that later, that kind of pushed me with StL Black Biz. So that's my quote, to paraphrase: do it fearfully, do it scared, just do it. Like
take
that.
imperfect action, man, and we'll figure everything else out. So that is quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. And of course, it's brought to you by StLBlackBiz.com. If you are an owner or operator of a Black-owned business, you need to go to that website and get your business registered. And moreover, send the link to your favorite Black-owned business and let them get registered as well. StLBlackBiz.com. So Eleanie, really quickly, tell everybody, if you will, who the heck is Eleanie Campbell?
Who is Eleanie? Eleanie is born and raised in North St. Louis. I went to Harrison School. I would have been at Gateman. I would have been at Beaumont or Central. I mean, deep in North St. Louis. I could walk to O'Fallon Park or Fairground. I could hear the Lancers drum corps on my back porch. So that's Northside Eleanie. I'm the mother of one gorgeous son, Isaiah. I went to Lincoln University, got their majored in music therapy for 3 years, changed my major my junior year.
Whoa.
So that's just in bulk me. I am a person who loves to tell stories, a writer. That's what's in me. That's been in me since I've been a child. Never really wanted to be an entrepreneur, never thought about it. Still, actually, honestly, I don't consider myself one. That's a whole nother story, but that's me. Eleanie, L. That's me.
Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. So I know that you have strong roots in not only Black economic empowerment, but Black empowerment just in general. Where did that come from for you? Is that something that, was your father a Black Panther? Was your mother running with Annie Malone and those guys back in the day? What Northside St. Louis, where did that red, black, and green that permeates through you come from? Do you remember what it is?
It hit me really in college when I was at Lincoln University in Missouri. I went to LU, and I started reading more. And the more I read, I stayed in the library. My dad used to say, if you're mad at me, all I got to do is go to the library, because I would be at the library downtown. So it happened in college when I started reading, and I always loved history, but I started reading Black history and African history because I knew enough of African American history. So, you know what? Honestly, I might have got it from my grandmother. She didn't talk Black history, but I remember she wore her afro. She wore her hair in these beautiful scarves. I think it was in her. It was hibernating. But she was a woman. She wasn't even 5 feet. And my grandmother raised me because my mother passed when I was 4.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
Granny Fanny raised me and my sister. And she made her and my 2 aunts, my Aunt Barbara and my Aunt Roseanne, also raised me. Weekends, I was in Cochran Projects. So like I said, but these women instilled so much in me. They were so strong. And my grandmother, I'm not going to tear up. She had dealt with so much. So a lot of Granny Fanny is in me. And even now, the other day, I said something, so, oh, God, I sound like Granny Fanny. So, it came out in college. It did.
Got you. Well, and that's super, super cool, because I always try to figure out, where it happens for a lot of people. And it's one of those things that is funny that you said it came out in college as a Black woman, right? That's 18, 19, 20 years old, when that should have been just who you are. And I hate that they don't really understand that Black history is American history. Our struggles, our contributions are things that we should know. And that's why we, in my opinion, as Americans, are slowly and continually sliding down from the number one country in the world, because you have 40 million people in your population that you won't encourage to contribute. Yes. Or you're holding back and denying their access and that kind of stuff.
That's a whole nother topic for me. When I'm on Facebook, I really try to, because I want to keep my job for one, but because I work at Annie Malone, and I'm in HR at Annie Malone. So any company I'm with, I'm representing that company. Right. But I want to say this, I think a lot of it, why some folks are waking up, but you ever heard Fear of a Black Planet? Because whoever they are, depending on how they think, know how great we are, how smart we are, how powerful we are, but we don't know it. I used to say, I brought our young Black brothers, if they walked around, if they knew an inch, and I don't know much of anything of our Black history, our African history, and I keep emphasizing African and African American, they will be, you think they're a mess now, they will be a hot mess. Like I said, you can't make me feel any kind of way because I know my history. Right. I don't feel uncomfortable anywhere. I can go in a boardroom. I can be anywhere. And I'm like, I'm comfortable because I know me and I know my work.
Yeah,
So
and that's powerful, man. We've got to figure out how to give our children more of that. And I was watching the recent HBO release where they did the Black Messiah and the Judas, and I remember distinctly, and I pointed it out to my wife, is it wasn't so much that they were feeding the little kids before they went to school physically, is what they were feeding their minds and their spirits. Because what we're talking about now, they were having the kids declare that they're Black and they're proud, that they're powerful, that they're going to make huge contributions, they're going to build legacies. And I think that was very, very scary. And we've got to get to more of that. So Granny Fanny raised you and your sister, Northside, Cochran, all of that kind of stuff. I hear a lot of people say that St. Louis is a crabs in a barrel type city. What are your thoughts on that? Do you find that to be true, or is that all in a person's mind?
I think we're getting better for some reason. I guess the circle knows I attract, because like attracts like. So I don't have many naysayers around me, and if they are, they're not part of the people I deal with, even on Facebook. I don't have negativity on my page, because the people that I'm friends with or attract to, we're not into that. I think there is still some of that there. My thing is, what's for me is for me. You know, like one person, Tracy, has said they got 8 million candle makers out here. That doesn't stop me from making my candles, because a certain people may want these particular candles. You got Burger King and McDonald's and all on the same corner. You got CVS and Walgreens right across the street from each other. They're both in business. So I tend not to worry about the crabs in a barrel mentality. I'm like, you know what? Because I've had a couple of people to come in my DM, and I'm like, really? You know, but I don't know. I don't worry about it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, and I don't either, because I realize that the crabs in the barrel, well, first of all, that's not their natural habitat. So if you put them in their natural habitat, then you got to judge the crab. You can't judge them in their barrel. You might want to judge who put them in the barrel in the first place.
Did you saw a video on that?
I do, man. And that came from you when we had the Black Biz Power Breakfast. That was so dope. And whenever you want to do another one again, just let me know, because I would love to help, because that was such a special moment.
Man, people missed out on that. It was so powerful. Woo!
Yeah,
I had some heavy hitters, y'all.
I love it. I love it. So it's about time for us to get into our 1 minute motivation. But on the other side of this break, on the other side of 1 minute motivation, we're going to really dive into the StL Black Biz, how you came up with it, how you put it all together, what kind of responses you're getting from the business community and all of that stuff. But 1 minute motivation, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, is a segment of the show where we actually play a 1 minute motivational clip, and we let you give your thoughts and your take. Eleanie will give her takeaway, and I will give a couple takeaways as well. So get your pads and your pens out so you can take a couple quick notes, and comment in the note section what one of your biggest takeaways is from this morning's 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Let's roll the clip.
When that alarm clock goes off, there's at least 50% of the time where you just, that soft little pillow is just caressing your head and you want to stay there. And it takes discipline to go, nope, I'm going to get up out of this bed and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do.
We all average probably about 5 hours of sleep.
Work hard, sleep less.
Tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off and you start feeling all the excuses that come in, and that bed is cozy. I know what you're saying. I love my bed too. And you then go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get up.
That discipline that you have at that moment, you win that fight. That's a big victory. And then that pattern will carry out throughout the day. Because once you're up, well, now that I'm up, I might as well go work out because I'm already up and I feel good that I got up out of bed and I won that battle. Let me go win another battle. I'm going to go get it done. And that discipline carries on throughout the day. So now you take that and you expand that out over a week and a month, and you end up with more discipline. And it starts with that simple act of getting up and getting out of bed in the morning.
I work out twice before everyone wakes up. So it started off 4 o'clock in the morning where I'd start with my cardio, then I'd have breakfast, and then I would go to the gym, and then I'd go to work.
And I wake up at 4:30 in the morning because no one else is awake yet. So that gives me the opportunity to do things that I need to get done kind of selfishly for myself. And the big one in that category is working out. And it doesn't feel good at 4:30 when you get up, but by the time 7 o'clock rolls around and you've already worked out and you've already gotten some work done, and you've got some time to say goodbye to your kids before they go to school, it's infinitely better than sleeping in until 6:45 and you get out of bed and now you missed your kids going to school or whatever. You're not prepared for the day. It's awful. Wake up at the same time every day. And
Hoo-wee. It's all about discipline, people. Discipline, people.
Yeah, I was ready to say that.
Eleanie, what are your takeaways? Discipline.
Discipline. This is my thing. I'm gonna be real quick. So my word is discipline. When I'm disciplined, everything else falls in place. I have to be disciplined to get up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. When I was going to the gym, that was my time, getting up at 3:30 or 4, meditating, journaling, praying, go to the gym, come back, get to work, have my day done, come home. I have 2 hours to work on StL Black Biz. I was in the bed by 9 so I can get back up. But my mind was clear. I had more clarity. I was in better shape. I was smaller. And I was always thinking about that word discipline. I said, well, if you have discipline, everything else falls in place. That's for me personally. So that's what I take from that. And I'm sitting here, discipline.
Yeah, I agree. And I think in the video, he talked about that's a little win, right? And I will tell you, since I started doing that consistently, 4:30 is my time as well. I get up at 4:30. I do my meditation in the bed, mind you. I just kind of lay on my back and, I put my hand on my sugar. She's breathing. So that's something to be thankful for right there. And I just start my gratitude meditation. Hey, man, all the things I'm thankful for. Get out and go do my workout. But when I don't do that, man, I can't tell you how my day is just discombobulated, man. It's so crazy. So that little win of getting up at 4:30, now it's like, okay, well, I'm up. Let me go ahead and get the workout, get my workout done. It's like, hey, I did my workout. Man, let me go ahead and get this cold shower out the way. Get the cold shower out the way. And it's like, man, those little wins, right, really propel you throughout your day. And you guys will know when when I've gone through my morning routine, because I will slay the day. But when I miss my morning routine, then I stumble through the day. So
my guy tells me, he said, when you're not in the gym, you're not as nice. He said, I'm way, not that I mean, but he said, you're a totally different person when you go to the gym. You're glowing, you this, you that. And I'm like, yeah. So
yeah, it's important, guys. And it doesn't have to be 4:30. It doesn't have to be 6:30. It just has to be a routine. Every day you should have a sequential order about getting started. What can you do to jumpstart your day and be disciplined in that thing, man? And it will transform and change your life. So that was 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by Monetize My Life Academy Digital Product Bootcamp. Coming up next week, guys, we will show you how to take your gift, talent, special ability, experience, expertise, turn it into a digital product, whether it's an ebook, whether it is an online course, whether you want to start doing live or virtual events. You have knowledge that can serve the world. Now it's time for you to learn how to package and present it to the marketplace. If that's something that you're interested in, less than $50, ladies and gentlemen, you'll walk out of that boot camp with a game plan, the systems, the tools, everything that you need to turn your knowledge into income. All you got to do is comment keyword bootcamp, and I will drop that link on you so that you can go ahead and get registered for that event. Now, Eleanie,
yes,
prior to us doing the 1 Minute Motivation, I promised the listeners that we will get into, we know that your granny raised you and your sister. We know that it was your granny rocking the Afro puffs that made you start becoming self-aware. And then when you got into college, you really started studying on your own our history here in America, but also abroad, our world history, our place in this globe, not just like we're often taught slavery. Black people history didn't start with slavery, right? But that later led you into the work that you're doing now. I think you've always been in social services and that kind of thing. How does that play a part in who Eleanie is and how you show up in the world?
That played a big part too. I started in social services in 1992. I started at Head Start through, the organization isn't here. I can't remember the name of the organization because they're not even here anymore. But that's sad. If someone's in that knows me, type it in. But anyway, I started in social services. I was a family service worker, and with the Head Start program, I would basically work with the parents of the children that were in the program. I would do home visits and make sure they had everything. I would talk to them about their children's progress and things like that. So from that point, then I noticed some disparities and issues that we had in our community and with our Black mothers, because that's mainly who I dealt with at the time. And then I moved on to child support. I was there for 13 years. That's a whole other story.
Because don't get my brothers mad at you, Eleanie.
I've seen both sides. I've seen both sides, and I understand both sides after 13 years. I've been cussed out, threatened, and why'd you take my money? So I didn't take your money. It was a lien on it. The computer did it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a whole other story. I worked in the Peabody projects. That was the Peabodys. I'm not going to say projects. The Peabody. I loved it down there. Yeah, we were ducking bullets and everything, but I was with my people, and I really loved working down there. I was at Head Job Corps till someone else took over the contract, and the company that was there, I was like, nah, I'm not going to last with them. I was there literally 3 weeks, and then I was gone because I said, they're going to get rid of me. And they were. That played a part just because knowing, especially when I was with child support, with what our brothers were going through, and when so many of them were trying their best and wanted to do better and just didn't know how to do it. I've learned that when I was at Peabody, that some people just don't know the basics, because if you don't know, you don't know. And I think a lot of it was not their fault. Some people don't know how to interview. They don't know you can't take your child to the interview, and actually, thought it was okay. So I was there to lovingly teach them, and in a fun way, change that around and show them, no, this is, and that's another thing my granny Fanny taught me. When my sister went to an interview, she didn't have a pen. She said, why would you go to an interview without a pen? And why would you go to McDonald's to apply at 12 o'clock at lunchtime? Just basic things like that. So it's funny how life, the little things you go through that you think is just nothing, how it builds up to and accumulates to make you the person that you are. And also, and I can't forget to mention my dad. My dad was there, always there, Richard Campbell. And I look like him. My sister acts like him. I guess that's where the musical ability came from. He taught me so much too. I laugh and think about when we would be in the car, and I'm 12 years old listening to Michael Franks. I don't know if you all know who Michael Franks is, but I'm listening to jazz at 12 years old, and we're harmonizing. I didn't know what I was doing. And my dad, oh my God, he took us everywhere. He traveled with us. He'd take my cousins, all of us. So he played a part too. I can't leave my dad out.
Love it, love it, love it. And I'm glad you said that, because there is times, and I see that often, that narrative always played out publicly, especially with some of our celebrities and things of that nature. And they talk about single motherhood as if that means there is no father figure, right? And I know the statistics and the real statistics that we are more active in our children's lives than any other culture. But what they tend to count is if you're not married, then you're a single mom. Doesn't mean you don't have a man helping you raise your children. You're just not married. And that helps add to this narrative. And I want people to really understand, because I started looking around and I was like, there's a lot of people not married, but
And
you know, my son started playing football and started playing basketball, and
Dad is there.
I see all the dads, and I'm like, where does this myth come from that we are not there? It's just crazy. But nevertheless, you kind of went through and started doing your career thing and loving on our people from a career standpoint and a professional standpoint. When did you decide, or when did the thought come to you about creating a Black-owned business directory?
It was during the night of the Ferguson riots, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It had already kind of been in my head because earlier that evening, I remember sitting in bed, I was watching Hidden Colors. And this episode, a series of Hidden Colors, they were talking about Asians in our community. They were talking about Black economics. And, you know, we always saying, well, the Asians taking over our stuff and they doing this and they doing it. And I'm like, well, what are we doing? We allowed it to happen.
Right.
So I was like, man, I wish I could like have some place where we knew where all the Black businesses were, because there's so many and I'm passing that I didn't know about. And I'm going back and forth on Facebook with Tracy Berry McGee. We're inboxing each other. We're watching the riots. And I said, Tracy, I think I want to start a Black business directory. She said, well, check and see if there are any around. There was one around, but I said, I'm going to still do it. And she was like, well, you got to do it now. She said, think of a name. We were playing with names. We chose a name. She said, you got to get the domain name now. Because I told you, Tracy just jumps. When she going to do it, she just do it. So that night, I got the domain name. And from that point, I didn't know what I was doing. Had no idea. I went in and created the website. Oh, Lord. Worked with that. It took me a year to really understand how it worked. And I was fooled around because I was kind of building it by scratch at first, because I had learned HTML a little bit. And then I discovered WordPress. I'm like, oh, they got templates. I don't know how it worked, but it was still hard work eventually. So it's been through a lot of phases. At one time, I had 300 businesses in there, and I said, I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why I got rid of those.
Yeah.
But everything happens for a reason. So now I'm building back up. There's nearly 100 now. But again, it's going through a lot of phases. And right now I'm even going through a new phase. But my whole thing has always been is to have a space for someone to shop and to know where to go to find Black businesses and to share.
Yeah. And I think that's critically important because we talk a lot about, you know, a new Black Wall Street, right? And I think most people have it in their head that it has to be a physical place, right? And it doesn't have to be, right? Because the entire world is moving to digital, virtual. We could have a Black Wall Street virtually, right? And I believe that's what StL Black Biz represents to me. It's like, hey, here is a place where we can aggregate all Black business is in a particular city. And I think every city is starting to see this, because I know that there are Black business directories in a lot of major cities. And then ultimately, once we lock them down in our city, then we can connect all of them together. So it's like, hey, when you hit St. Louis, then it's StL Black Biz. When you hit Atlanta, it is ATL Black Business Directory. When I'm in Sacramento, I should be able to hit the Sacramento Black Business Directory and that kind of stuff. But I think, you know, aggregating all of the information and helping people to understand that we could do this, but we may not have a business district, so to speak, where I can actually drive my car and there's 40 Black-owned businesses in this one location.
It would be so cool if we did.
It would be. And I think that's one of the things that we have to help our people understand. Sometimes we as business owners and entrepreneurs, because we are scarred subconsciously, will say, I don't want my business by another Black-owned business, right? Because we don't understand consumer behavior. See, I asked a question the other day, and if you guys have not answered the question the other day, it is, what is the furthest you've gone out of your way to support a Black-owned business? How far have you gone out of your way to support a Black-owned business? That requires that you be intentional, right? And I'm giving my answer towards the end. But consumer behavior, we spend money based on convenience. So if I have to drive 40 minutes to the Black-owned dry cleaners, and there's no other business around that I can do business with, then I'm probably going to drive 5 minutes to this dry cleaners, because there's also the tire shop, there's also the grocery store, there's also all of the business that I need to do, because I don't want to give up my whole Saturday. And I think we're missing that. And I think StL Black Biz can bring some of that to say, okay, since I'm going to be intentional, let me hit StL Black Biz first. Let me map out my Saturday and then say, okay, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here. And I'm hitting all 5, of these Black-owned businesses. So,
which I have done. Like, if I'm getting my hair braided, I am going to go to my Black beauty supplies first to find the hair that I need. And then it may not even be what I want. I said, oh, well, I wanted this style, but she's got plenty of this, so I'll get this, So, and it's fine. I have a friend, she wanted me to go with her to get my eyelashes done. I said, is it Black on? She told me, no, but, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with you this one time, right? Then found out that I might can lose the little lashes I don't have doing it. I said, no, I'm good. But that's, I gotta get my eyebrows done. I gotta find somewhere to go to get, my eyebrows haven't been arched forever, but because there's a spot I used to go on Delmore and she's not there anymore. And I know there's tons of places. I just need to go and say, hey, where can I go get my eyelashes, my things done? But just being intentional. I like Lefty's Chinese.
I haven't been. I've heard about it. I haven't been.
I will drive all the way over there, and I'm in North County. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm over this way anyway. I will drive over there because I was like, I know I can get the chicken because I know it's chicken. I know. And I told him, I said, I know it's chicken. So somebody's probably saying, how you know it's chicken? Nah, that brother, he's serving chicken. So I go there to get I drive out the way to get that.
Yeah, and I love it. And I think Shiro says, question of the day, she's gone 5 hours out of her way to patronize a Black-owned business. Let's talk doing to get folks in. How is it difficult for people to go ahead and get their business listed? Let's talk a little bit about the actual functionality of the directory and how you got it all set up.
It's not difficult, and it's also with that going to how I'm kind of changing things a little bit. The directory is fairly easy. The directory was $25 for 1 year. 1 year, not $25 a month, not $10 a month, not $4.99 a month. Even though I could have been working on residual income, it's $25 for 1 year because my goal was that I wanted the average business owner to be able to afford it. Right now, it's just $10. So if you go in, I change the prices periodically. You can go in and just basically where it says submit your listing, add your information. Once it's in, I'll get an email. I'll notify you. I'll tweak it and add things to it. If I see you got some videos, you got a YouTube page, I'm going to put it on there. I'll add pictures just to, add more. So that's basically how it works. But what I'm doing, I'm going to keep the directory, but if I can say I'm partnering with the Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce. StL Black Biz will still be here to connect Black businesses and consumers. But when we talk about collaborating and working together, my thing is I want to share stories more than anything. And so next month, you're going to see a lot of that interviews that I've been doing. And I've been doing some great interviews. I've done an interview with Tendai, the hair whisperer. Montrice, she's an author. I have something coming up with Michelle Robinson of Demi Blue. I have a group of sisters that have some businesses. So I'm leaning more towards that. And what I'm doing, like I said, I'm partnering Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce. There's still going to be an StL Black Biz. I'm still here to connect Black consumers and Black businesses and just connect businesses with businesses also, because I had some things in my mind for us to really work together. So you can still go in, you can still enter your information, but eventually we'll have it where those that are in the directory can go to Heartland. And why I'm pushing that is because they have, and that's a whole nother show, and we talked about that. They have so much information for Black businesses that, and so many resources and funds that are there. So again, I'm about sharing the love, but that's StL Black Biz. I am here again still to connect Black businesses and consumers, to share stories, to share our story, and I offer a space where you can share your story, and also to connect Black businesses also.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I had Nancy Jordan from Biz by Faith on yesterday, and she was talking about one of the core things that people need beyond, getting started. She was talking about the ongoing support. And when you're part of something like the Heartland Black Chambers of Commerce, there are so many business owners who have been in business 20, 30, 40 years with so much experience. And guys, we typically negate or don't understand how to leverage the knowledge of others. And that's what the Chamber of Commerce is doing. I'm actually in connection with them so I can join myself, because I'm super excited about not only all that I could learn from those, who've been in the game for a while, and not only just in the game, but in the game in this community. So they know what's going on. They know who the major players are. They know who the best banks are for us to be doing business with. They know all of these things. So you're right. It's one thing to connect the Black consumer with the Black business owner, but it's an entirely different thing to connect the Black business owner with other Black business owners, especially Black business service providers. So if you are a business owner in any capacity, you need to go to StL Black Biz to get yourself listed there first, and then you'll see how you can connect with the Chamber of Commerce. But let me say this, because it's not just about St. Louis businesses, is it?
No, it's open to anyone. Because look, I just bought some I bought some chamomile tea. Lemonade chamomile tea. I was in another Black business group, and this brother has a Black business directory, a national Black business directory. And I saw this, I said, I want to buy some tea from this sister. And is she in New Jersey, I think? And I had a picture and video, and the tea is so good. So no, if you're out of town, please put your business. Because my thing is I want to share the love. Share the love, so you do not have to be in St. Louis. And I had thought about changing the name. I'm like, no, we know StL Black Biz, and I can still, everyone's welcome to put their information in. So you don't have to be in St. Louis.
Yeah, I think that's important, because especially those businesses who understand what's going on, Eleanie, like, you got to take your business online. And I think COVID has taught us all a big, big lesson. For those who have been reluctant to take their business online, partner with somebody like you so they can get exposure online and different things of that nature, and being hardcore old school and dare I say stubborn to some extent, costs a lot of people their businesses. Do you experience any business owners that you were connected to that had gone under because of COVID?
I personally haven't. The ones I do know, they pivoted really quickly. They was like, oh, I need to do this, or they were kind of already on top of the game. One business that's older, they're not in the directory. They have, I think their niece or granddaughter is now helping them. It was like, oh, I need to do this. So, I always tell people, you don't know how to do something on a computer, get an 8-year-old. And they laugh. I said, no, I'm serious. Get an 8-year-old and they'll show you what to do.
And so, they'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out. And COVID brought a lot of devastation, but in the end, and out of it, we got some good things out of it too, because we were like, okay, I'm in this situation. I have to do something. So we fought. People were fighting for their livelihood. And like you said, you got to learn how to pivot and be flexible. People learn quickly. So, okay, this is what I need to do. And I can see now how a lot of businesses were birthed out of COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I want to bring to you and the directory is the services to help those entrepreneurs who still haven't quite figured out this whole online world and create their online sales processes and things of that nature. Because, you know, a lot of restaurants figured out that, man, 2 years ago when I had an opportunity to get my delivery app, I was like, nah, I'm good. But the restaurants who had an app, man, I would go on that app, man, hey, man, bring me some food. And it just created other opportunities. And it's kind of like the Eric Yuan, I think is how you pronounce his last name, the founder of Zoom, right? He didn't know a pandemic was coming, but he was just providing a solution. Hey, I know that video conferencing is going to have to be the thing. And he just provided that platform. And when COVID hit, all of the schools had to go to some sort of digital platform. And a lot of them chose him. He literally added $100 billion.
I wish I had invested in Zoom. Oh my God. And it's funny, some people say, you don't know how many with family members I had to be their dummy. I said, I'm going to show you how to use Zoom. You know, I'll be your test dummy. So yeah, but everybody has it now.
Yeah, so you have to know how to get in this online game. So Eleanie, we are rapidly approaching the top of the hour. And because I am not the best at interviews, I always like to give my guests the opportunity to what I call freestyle, because I might not have asked the question that led to the conversation that you wanted to have on the show today. So anything you want to talk about, you know, just freestyle it, whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind that you think this audience can benefit from that we didn't talk about already. The floor is yours.
Okay, 2 things. How to shop black while being black. How to shop black while being black. Stop asking for discounts.
Yo, we're gonna take it there. Okay.
Stop asking for discounts. People are offering a service, and they're probably offering a service doing something you don't know how to do. So if you don't know how to make dressing, don't give them $10 saying, okay, she want to charge me $25, $30 to make her dressing. Do you know how to make the dressing? She got to buy this. She got to do that. She has to take the time. Don't think someone's going to design your website for $10. Do you know how to design a website? No. A friend of mine, Todd, always say, are you a surgeon? Are you a lawyer or an attorney? So stop asking for discounts. Be intentional. And this is even for me. Now, me buying at Black restaurants, that comes easy. But I have to put in more work. I said, well, this is an outfit I want. Let me check out these boutiques. And I have gone and bought my things in my boutique. I go and buy my soap at the soap shop on Delmar because on Broadway. I was like, man, I need some soap. So I go there and buy my soap with Brother Robert. So, and it's just little itty bitty things because of course you're still going to be at other places, you know, but if it's little itty bitty things like that, if all of us were intentional with little bitty things, just like how many of us passed the soap shop on Broadway, and we can go in and get our soap and get whatever else he has. So that, and another thing, I want to flip it on you. This brother right here has so much knowledge, and oh my God, yeah, I'm going through his videos. It's just mind boggling. If you can pay for someone's services and you pay for someone to assist you with what he has to offer on branding and marketing and things like that, you know, pay into your business. That's another thing. Pay into your business.
Yeah.
This Cortez and so many others are so knowledgeable that you can get that from them. One last thing, it does not cost to share. If you can't buy or spend money with them, share it, because you may share it to 3 people that can. So it doesn't cost anything to like and to share. I'm sharing. I tell people, add anything to my page. If it's not crazy, I'm going to share it. And I hate I miss out on so much stuff. So I said, how to shop black while being black. What else did I say? I talked about the services that you have to offer and what others have to offer, and it does not cost to share and like.
Man, you know what? I think people discount or don't understand the value in a share. And if you have not shared the show, smash the share button right now. They discount the value in a share because listen, you hit it right on the head. I might be offering my digital product boot camp next week, and you might be saying, hey, I don't need to create a digital product. But your homegirl, your homeboy, somebody on your timeline are thinking about, man, I'm trying to write a book. I just don't know where to start. Oh man, I would love to create a course on my book. I don't know where to start. And you sharing could bless them, could bless me. And think about all the people that are going to be blessed when that product or service comes out. So definitely that. You also hit on the stop asking for discounts. Man, stop. Listen, wanting a hookup is the reason that we are in this doggone predicament that we are in a lot of cases, right? If you value yourself, then how can you not value somebody else and what they are doing?
Absolutely.
Show them some love. Listen, you don't have to, if you don't like their prices, just move on. You don't gotta bash them, talking about they charge too much. You don't gotta talk about, I wish I would pay that. No, if you don't like their prices, just keep shopping until you find something that you do like. Because when you go to any other culture to buy from them, that's exactly what you do. If you don't like their prices, you're just gonna go and find something else. Period. So, Eleanie, this has been extremely fun for me. I love what you were doing over there at the StL Black Biz. I want to touch on this last thing though, because you talked about these stories, right? And I think that is so important. And that's why I do this show, to bring other entrepreneurs and their journey to life, so that people who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs can see and learn from others and what they're doing and their passions and that kind of stuff. So what are some of the other stories that you want to highlight from other entrepreneurs? And do you have an application or a way that entrepreneurs can reach out to you so that they can be highlighted by you and StL Black Biz team?
I will not, but funny you mentioned that. I've made a video where I want to invite people in to do that. I just want to hear your story, your journey, your struggles, because what you're going through, I guarantee you is going to help someone else. It's going to help someone else. So it's going to be called, you may have seen a trickle here and there. I'm calling it Black Ice is Justice Code. Black Ice is Justice Code. You heard it here first. I don't know. You may have heard somewhere else. But anyway, Black Ice is Justice Code. And some older heads may understand. My son didn't know what it meant. So I'm sure some old heads do. So basically, we talked about, are you going to be intentional? Will you go out of your way? My thing is, you can have a store right here. Black man own this store. Asian own the store right here. Man go across the street to the Asian store. Say, why'd you go to the Asian store or instead of the one by the brother? Well, they ice is colder. Right. No, ice is just, all ice is cold. So just basically that concept of some people thinking that products by other people are better. It's not necessarily true. And sometimes ours is better. So that's where the concept of Black Ice is Justice Code. So not just business owners, authors, nonprofits, whatever you're doing, if you're doing something in the community, I want to tell your story.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And we need to hear more and more of those stories. And don't think that you have to be crazy successful, because you know what I love? I love the opportunity to hear from someone like you when there's 100 businesses in your directory, and 5 years from now, there's going to be 10,000. Right. And then I'm gonna be able to have you back on the show and say, hey, remember you was making all the pivots, you was making all the moves, and there was 100 in, and now it's 10,000. See, people want to grow with you. People want to follow you on your journey. So I didn't get anybody answering the question of the day other than my girl Shiro. How far have you gone out of your way to support Black-owned businesses? I think for me personally, 25, 30 miles. I live in North County, and there are some Black-owned shops around here. But man, sometimes I want to get some good seafood. My man over at Gulf Shore, over in off Olive.
Yeah.
25, 30 minutes drive for me sometimes. Sometimes I have to go
Get those prayer
on Kings Highway and Union. On Union and Forest Park Expressway. I forget the name of that little kitchen, but it's a dope little spot. There's another spot that we actually had a reunion at way on the south side. I'm like, man, who picked this little bar? But they let you rent out the whole thing. So we were able to rent out the whole thing. But it's dope. So I don't mind going out of my way. I do admit to needing to do that more. And that's why I like that you have the directory. So if we're going to be intentional, guys, it only takes a little bit of planning. That's all. Just a little bit of planning. And guess what? That's going to help you with your money too. Because when you plan on spending your money, you usually spend just that.
Right.
When you don't plan, you tend to pick up stuff that wasn't on the list. And all of a sudden you got all of these other things going on. So tell everybody how to get in touch with you, Eleanie, for the business directory, or if they want to share one of those stories with you.
Okay, I'm at www.StLBlackBiz.com. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. StL Black Biz. Also, you can like the page, StL Black Biz. And my email is info@StLBlackBiz. Info@StLBlackBiz.
I'm going to drop that in now. Info@StLBlackBiz.
And just drop a note, say, hey, I want to tell my story. And I'll reach out to you.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been listening to and learning from Eleanie Campbell, founder and creator of StL Black Biz, connecting Black businesses with Black consumers, but also connecting Black businesses with resources to help them grow and scale through her partnership with the, is it the Heartland
Black Chamber
of Commerce right here in St. Louis. So we appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Until we talk to you next time, we want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.